Movie ratings have ruined everything. Here's why. A third of US adults say they check Rotten Tomatoes before going to the cinema. That's about 86 million people. But before we get stuck down that rabbit hole, which trust me, we will, let me bring you guys closer. So I love movie nights, as I can imagine that a lot of you do too. And about 2 months ago, I was getting excited about a movie night with the family. We had decided to watch a family favorite of ours, Australia. And so I was looking forward to it, of course. And as we sat down on the couch, kind of cuddled up, got the food ready, got snacks, got drinks, I thought to myself, I wonder what kind of ratings this movie has. I pulled out my phone to Google it, and to my genuine disappointment, I saw it had horrible reviews. Needless to say, I was panicking. Here, my idea of what good cinema is was crumbling before my very eyes. I proceeded to watch the movie, completely overtaken by anxiety and ruining the experience for myself. Now, I tell this story for one of two reasons. Number one, to show off my incredible mental fortitude, and number two, because this showed me how nonsensical our attachment to movie ratings are. They're the cinematic barometer we all want but seldom truly need. They stifle creativity and skew audience expectations in the worst way. I'll get into why in a second, but first, answer me this. Have you ever found yourself thinking of watching a movie? You take out your phone and Google the reviews, see that they don't seem great, and proceed to dismiss the movie entirely? You kind of make a snap judgment in 10 seconds about a film that might have taken months, if not years, to develop. Don't feel bad. I've been there too, and it's becoming increasingly more common. See, humans have an innate obsession with social proof. We like to follow and copy the behaviors of others to feel accepted. And if we see a movie has bad reviews, or reviews that aren't good enough, whatever good enough even means, we feel like it's just not worth our time. That right there is the issue. Instead of judging the movie ourselves based on the synopsis, the trailer, the actors or directors, we allow others, strangers for the most part, allow the majority to dictate what movies are worth our time. Movies, at the end of the day, are pieces of art. And can you imagine if in every art museum there was a rating scale above each painting? That would be stupid, right? We allow ourselves in a museum to be guided by whatever painting or art piece catches our eye or resonates the most with us. And that's how watching movies should go. Although we've witnessed the democratization of ratings and reviews, there we go. They unfortunately often dictate and skew viewer expectations. Higher rated films are anticipated to be of superior quality, which sometimes leads to disappointment, while lower rated films may face prejudice even before viewers give them a chance. This preconceived bias affects our openness to different cinematic experiences and can deter us from exploring potentially impactful movies. Not only that, judging a film solely based on a rating can ultimately limit our exposure to a broader range of storytelling than what we're usually accustomed to. See, I noted Australia as a personal example at the beginning of the video, but there are countless films that are fan favorites but don't necessarily have great reviews. Jumanji, Princess Diaries, National Treasure, Joker, Pretty Woman, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, The Greatest Showman, The Holiday. You see what I'm getting at? And while they might not be technically excellent films, they still move people. Some of these movies have made me cry, some have made me smile uncontrollably, and some have given me laughing fits. You can't know how a movie will impact you unless you see it with an open mind and no preconceived notions. That's impossible to do when ratings and reviews from sites like Rotten Tomatoes are given as much weighting as they are nowadays. Of course, how could I talk about ratings without mentioning our dearest friend, Rotten Tomatoes? They're the biggest player in the space and influence millions of people. Now, they've been shrouded in controversy recently because of a Vulture report that showed it might be easy to pay some low-level film critics that are still part of Rotten Tomatoes' critics pool to write a good review. Who would have thunk? That highlights another issue with review aggregation. It's impossible to know if there's been any tampering. Rotten Tomatoes has so much influence that a third of US adults say they check Rotten Tomatoes before going to the cinema. And that's around 86 million people, which, to put it into context, is one Turkey, not that Turkey, this Turkey, yep, or like 2 Californias. It's no wonder that PR companies are scratching and clawing to get critics to write good reviews when the influence is that large. Most people just look at the number. Film has become more about a number encompassing the quality rather than the experience itself. If your memory is working, which I hope for your sake it is, unless you're 80 plus, you'll remember me mentioning that movie ratings also stifle creativity. Why, you may ask? Well, because filmmakers and studios tend to sacrifice originality to stick to the types of stories and tropes that tend to get good reviews. The fear of a lower rating can push filmmakers to compromise their vision, hindering the exploration of unconventional or thought-provoking themes. This stifling of creative expression is a significant consequence of a system that prioritizes ratings, a number, over artistic innovation. Now, for all my preaching and ranting, does that mean I think there's no place for reviews, ratings, or review aggregator sites? Of course there is. At the end of the day, the film industry is a competitive, capitalistic industry, and it's important to know which movies are on average more widely enjoyed than others when it comes to awards, compensation, box office potential, etc. Not only that, if we didn't have movie ratings or reviews to boost smaller projects, only the movies with high marketing budgets would ever really get watched by the majority of the audience, which is sad. I also think the democratization of reviews can be a good thing. There's something beautiful about anyone being able to give their opinion and potentially sway someone's opinion about a movie. Here's an idea. How about we don't allow for public ratings until a specific time after a movie has been released, like a month or so? That would allow for appropriate digestion of the film and plays without letting ratings and reviews influence you. Nah, that's probably a horrible idea, actually. Anyway, my point is this. We're all different and unique. We have differently unique preferences, and instead of letting ratings and reviews guide our movie watching inclinations, we should let our own opinions of the crew and trailer dictate what we watch, while also, very important, maintaining an open mind and trying to truly embrace the incredible richness and variety that the world of cinema has to offer. Translation: don't fucking look at reviews before you watch a movie. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. See ya in the next one.